Hi, my name is Sean Smith, and welcome to Thursday Thought here at St. John's Church and School. And with me is,
Nolan, glad to meet you guys.
and Father John asked me to speak with you today, and I was honored, and I invited along this guy. And the reason I invited along this guy, first of all, well, the topic, but to begin with, many of you may say, "Wait, you look familiar, Sean, but you look familiar because we know,
Nolan.
yes, Nolan, or wait, you come up with different names."
Still with Nolan, NPS, also rolling with Nolan.
And also, the mayor of Lawrence, too,
The
sometimes.
mayor of Lawrence.
Okay, so we'll stop there. Now, of course, if we mention Nolan, we have to mention his siblings, Bridget and JJ, Mara, and your mom.
Mm-hmm. My mom, Kristen Conkey, this guy's wife right here.
So, the Thursday thought today, Nolan and I would like to kind of reinforce what we think is a silver lining in this pandemic, and that is this idea of inclusion. Now, many of you might be thinking when I say the term inclusion, initially you might think, well, yes, we've had a lot of talk of inclusion as a community, not only in Lawrence, but the nation over the summer and actually starting in the spring. Equity, diversity, we need to include all individuals. And yes, of course, but when I think of inclusion, I think particularly of this use of this term for years for individuals with disabilities. And I do actually see it as a bit of a silver lining this pandemic. And I want to get to that. But Nolan, you've been included in St. John's in several different ways, haven't you?
I have,
Well,
yes.
why don't you go ahead and tell people?
Well, I was a altar server for a couple of years.
And you currently serve as
I currently serve as a lector right now.
yep, and Nolan's been through all the sacraments up to confirmation, your religious education school. Oh, talking about school, what are you doing right now?
I'm currently helping out with the director, Amy Cast, at the St. John's Preschool.
So he's volunteering there. So St. John's has been a very inclusionary environment for Nolan. Now, what I said the pandemic is a bit of a silver lining for this idea of inclusion is as an educator, and see, my day job is I'm at the University of Kansas, and I teach future teachers, particularly in the area of special education. I also work with a lot of future general education teachers and current teachers in the classroom. And for all us teachers, we definitely, both K-12 or pre-K-12, as well as higher education, this pandemic has really required us to shift, plan for hybrid, plan for face-to-face, plan for fully online, and maybe do all that within a week. And of course, the parents out there and the grandparents and the aunts and uncles and of course all the students, we've had to shift left and right. And we're actually doing that right now with the changes that's happening not only in our parish school but also in Lawrence Public Schools, but also what's happening here with the changes again with our numbers. And I mention all that because on a day-to-day basis, all of us that are involved in education in any way, it's required planning, designing for a lot of variables. Be it variables in where we're going to do it, be it variables in how we learn. And because of that, the silver lining for me during this pandemic, it's forcing us as educators, parents is thinking about our learners, and everyone in between, including the students, to really plan and redesign a little bit differently that to me opens up the windows for all individuals. See, Nolan's been included in many different ways because planning and design really altered and thinking about the needs of a variety of learners, including Nolan. And with that meaningful and thoughtful planning design, it might be the use of the technologies. It might be the fact that instead of just doing it one way, we'll do it several different ways. Those have been very meaningful, and I do see a silver lining because I'm seeing it right now. I know in our parish schools, our teachers are doing that on a day-to-day basis. Think of it in terms of Mass. We're offering Mass face-to-face, but we're also offering it virtually. I could see some of these things continuing after the pandemic to help people that might be remote because of work, or might be remote because of an accident or health concerns, or might be remote because they're traveling and yet they still want to stay connected with this phenomenal community here at St. John's. Just that in and of itself will allow us to really kind of enhance that idea of all are welcome. And so as we kind of leave you, we want to have you kind of continually to reflect on this idea of inclusion and including all individuals. Yes, the Nolans of the world, and yes, of course, so many others in our parish, but doing so and broadening that and really doing it not only in our schools, but also in the sacraments and also, of course, within the Mass and overall within our broader church parish community. So thank you for allowing us to to visit and offer a Thursday thought. And with that, I'll sign off. Nolan, anything else you want to share before we sign off?
Of course I do.
All right.
Having a disability is a great thing to have because you were born with it and it is just a God-loving miracle.
All right. So with that, thank you so much for allowing us to visit with you, and have a great rest of your day and have a great weekend.